art and character designs provided by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Want to be first to have access to early artwork, concept sketches, exclusive art that can't be seen anywhere else? Then support Demon Artie over on her Patreon. Link in description below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. The Owl House Episode 5 Convention. Instead of convention, it's like Coven and convention mixed together. There's a lot of puns. They're not bad, but it feels like the show doesn't need it. It doesn't need to have like, oh, Hex Mix instead of Chex Mix. Remember that? It's very unnecessary. This episode is it's good because we kind of get some more lore, how the magic works, how this world is set up, the society. We learn more about Edda. We get to meet some of her family, and there's some story there. Remember the curse she had put on her from before. So I'm finding myself way more invested into Edda's life than Luz. And she's almost a side character. Like, this is really the Edda show, and Luz is just happens to be there. We open up, and they're selling their goods at their little human collectible store that Edda runs. And, Luz is reading her story, and I'm trying to think here. Am I seeing some parallels here? Because, look, the good witch Azura is fighting this evil witch who has two faces. We can make that connection between Azura's and Luz because they almost look like she looks like an older version of her. Is this two-faced evil witch? Is this Edda? Is she? Because she kind of has this, not a dual personality, but she seems to be kind and nice to Luz, but maybe there is that double face, that other life where she is a criminal. I know, like, oh, they kind of explain it a little bit in this episode, but what if it's worse than that? What if it goes beyond just not joining a coven and stealing little things? Maybe she is this two-faced witch, and Luz is going to have to fight her at the end. How cool. This series would be amazing if it ends up that way, where it spends the whole time making you fall in love with these two characters, to find out that they have to fight in the end because the true evil is Edda in the end. Oh, that'd be great. But am I looking too far into this? Am I digging a little bit too deep? But whatever. She's reading her little book, and of course it's like way over the top. Cotton candy skies. Would you really use that term right before a battle? That's awful writing. That's just terrible. But of course King's kind of into it. He wants to look at the pictures and everything, and he just makes up all these lies. Like, oh, I used to be king of artists. And Luz is like, really? He's like, well, don't worry about that. People used to bring me offerings. They do these little foreshadowing things to explain why things happen later in the episode, but it's such a silly, stupid thing. It was completely unnecessary. I talk, A plots and B plots. There's the B plot, I guess, is King getting his offerings, but it's such a small, tiny aspect of the episode. It kind of didn't need to exist. I'm trying to think why was it, I guess because he trips over his stuff and falls into the ring later on, but you could have done that differently. You didn't have to make this whole offering thing. Edda doesn't like this story. Oh, it's so stupid, it's contrived and everything, because it kind of really is. She's like, oh, you're driving around all our customers, and there is no customers. Like, literally the whole like a swap meet bazaar area where they sell stuff, it's completely empty. I bring up the question, remember the warden was like looking for her? She's still wanted. So did they just stop actively looking for her? They know she lives in town. They know she has a little cart where she sells stuff. So wouldn't they just come to the shops every day looking for her? Why did they stop? Because she's cool? Like, I don't know, whatever. But like, she's like, oh, this must be an evil omen. Then we get Willow and Augustus. I trying to remember the names. Gus show up like, hey, Luz, check this out. There's this big convention. And there's, what coven are you going to be a part of? So they're going to do the whole make fun of Comic-Cons and stuff like that. It kind of works, but the joke wears real thin really quick. But of course, Luz's like, oh, sweet old covens, that'd be great. And then, Ed is like, oh, covens are stupid. I never joined one. Look at me, and I'm stronger than all of them. She doesn't want to go. She's like, you can't get me to go no matter what. They start reading the book again, but when King reads it, it's already bad. I won't say it's badly written, but it kind of is. But when you have King reading it, it just makes it so much worse.
You shall not chant, doeth no more harm. Azura calleth out.
So flowery, so awful.
Most formidable. Hecate could only screech. Screecheth, did she? For the screeching did worsen it.
Stop it! I will literally do anything to stop this.
She tries to escape. he follows after her. She's like, okay, fine, whatever. Just stop reading this book and I'll go with you. So they end up at the convention, and it's in a big convention hall. It's okay. How many people have actually been to comic book conventions? I go to Phoenix Comic Con every year. And yeah, you kind of get these kind of situations and feelings. But she shows up. I thought this was kind of funny. It's a little gag, but it actually makes sense. She's like, I can't go in there because I'm going to be recognized. And a side note, they also have, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the story again. It's pretty simple. Why'd you take 6 people to write this story? There's not a, they're planting seeds for something bigger, but my goodness, you don't need 6 people on a story. It's ridiculous. So, but back to the joke I thought was funny. She's like, I gotta cover up. People gonna recognize me and everything. The real reason, we find out later the real reason, but she's like trying to stuff all her hair. She has a ton of hair and it's just like not fitting in her little cloak thing. I think that's funny because like something like in, I think it was My Little Pony, the one with the sirens, how they're able to put all their hair in their tiny little hoodies without like no trouble. Like they have hoods of holding. They just like flip up and they hold all their hair. So you hear she has to really cram it in there, which makes sense. I thought that was, it was funny to me. So she has her thing on. Looks like she's wearing like this big giant ball in her head because she has so much freaking hair. Then they're okay. Let's go in. They walk in there and you see there's what did they say? There was 8 or 9, 6 main houses. They're the main covens, but there's a bunch of covens, and then they have silly ones. Cooking coven, is that necessary? They should have really stuck to actual magical things, like there's some of the other stuff they talk about, like illusion. Oh, okay, I can understand there being a coven for illusionists. You got Gerard and you have all them there, but like the cooking one, there's like a building one. It's like, okay, this is really silly. And then we get some of our gags. We have the Hex Mix, and it literally looks like a bag of Chex Mix, like the way that it's written. But she uses it as like a distraction. And then like runs off. We get the building coven, and we get a little bit of other types of magic. Like they use like these runes to give themselves super strength, and that's how they build stuff. Which doesn't make sense how this guy just threw stuff in the air and then it just built itself.
It's the construction coven.
Like, okay. But here's the thing, can you just like slap a bunch of these on you and make you like the strongest person in the world? He kind of shows out because it's that little nose chick, and she powers up like Dragon Ball Z. The DBZ power up, yelling, getting stronger gag. It's not funny. It wasn't funny like 5 years ago, and it's definitely not funny now. But, and she's like throwing people around. Oh, I'm the destroyer of worlds. And then we get to see the illusion people. Like they made like a shadow, and it's like repeating what she's saying. Like, oh, they're the illusion people. And I guess Gus is part of them because he's like, they wear the light blue. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So these covens work separately from the schools? Or do the schools run with the covens, or do the covens run within the schools? And is there more than one school? Because I don't know. Like, there's some more confusion going on here. Because what is the whole point of all this? Is it like a job training? Or like certain schools have more prestige than other schools, but then why would the covens help all of the schools? Wouldn't they only pick the best one? I don't know, whatever. Maybe they'll explain it later. They probably won't. But she thinks that's really cool. And then Edda's like, yeah, you may like all this coven stuff. And I thought this was a really stupid thing to add to the show. When you join a coven, you seal all your other magic, and then you are stuck using just that. So if you join the illusion coven, you can't do any other type of magic. You only do illusion magic. Why? That's really stupid. What is the benefit of joining a coven? Did they make it stronger? Does it make that one type of magic you have like strong? Like it saps the other types and gives you like a boost to that? They don't say that, but if that was the case, maybe. But to limit yourself so much is kind of ridiculous. And that's when, Ed is like, look, I can do all kinds of magic. That's why I'm better than all these people. I would never join a coven. We get this mini B plot. This is where King getting his offerings. Some fortune teller lady's like, oh, your future, and gives her a pen. Like at like recruiters tables and stuff like that, they have free pens and lanyards and little things that get you to come to the table. The stupid swag stuff. She's like, oh, and he's like, oh, I don't want to pay for this. Don't worry, it's free. And of course, King loves getting stuff because it's like being offered things. How demons, you come to their lair and you give them an offering. Oh, please don't hurt me. Or you're asking for a favor. It doesn't really plan out here because King doesn't do anything. Then we see these Hollow Knight looking dudes. And these are like the Emperor's coven, or the Imperial coven. So I'm like, oh, okay, so there's like a king or an emperor of this land. So we get a little bit of that backstory, which is kind of cool. And these are like his best of the best. So if you join this guild or this coven, they're like the most prestige, but they're also like the man. They're like, I don't say, are they the military? I guess I suppose. And Ed is like, I hate. They're worst of all. They're all stuffy and they think they're better than everyone. And I kind of like Luce in this scene right here. She's like,
I get it, Ida. Coven's bad, individualism good. But I'm still figuring this world out, so I'm going to go in there and make up my own mind, okay?
very level-headed of you, Luce. Very nice. I like that. That was pretty good because she shouldn't just discount everyone instantly. We get one guy's trying to basically recognize Ed as like, I think she's over there. You go get her. Man, that's a hell of a reward too for this guy. She's like, okay, oh, hold up, Luce, I'm coming with you. And then it's like an arena. So they're all sitting around, and then we get that principal guy. He shows up and he does his little spiel about joining the Imperial Guild or whatever. Some kid makes his head super big.
Is it this?
Wow, I failed you as a principal.
It's funny, but it's just stupid. Then he introduces some of these Hollow Knights, and they're able to do like they can do all magic. See, that's Edo's complaint was if you join a coven, you can only do one type of magic. But I guess if you join this Imperial Emperor's coven, you can do all types of magic. Like you're not just confined to one type, which is, I guess, is good. But again, you're still under the thumb of the Emperor. They start talking about like, oh, you could be the future of this. So, it's a spiel. They do anything. Please join our guild or work towards our guild. He's like pointing out like, oh, there could be the future. There's some students out there that are on their way here. And of course, it's Amity. Like Amityville Horror. Amity, if anyone doesn't know, means friendship. So the Friendshipville Horror, how hilarious is that? And is that the point like, oh, her name is Friendship, but she's not very friendly. So she's all super excited. Then time for their special guest. And we see a raven. And it's some woman named Lilith. And like, oh, there's got to be a connection here. And you look at them like, oh, maybe they're sisters. And yeah, they're totally sisters. And so she's a raven. Edda's an owl. So I'm assuming their parents were like eagles or something. I'm more interested in Edda's her whole backstory and where she's going to go in this whole curse than anything else in the show. So I'm going to continue to watch this. I give everything 5 episodes, and me being interested enough in Edda's past has given me enough to want to watch the rest of this. So she shows up, and then she's like, doing all her magic and everything and talking about how great, wonderful, she's doing the spiel too. And there's Edda freaking giving her the evil eyes. She's like, forget it. We're getting out of here. Screw this stupid place. I got enough of this convention. I'm done. Luz kind of runs into Amity, and then she's like, oh, it's you again. You're, she still thought she was an abomination, like still like a creation. I don't know. Was she just, I don't know. I don't get it. It's stupid. If she honestly thought that, she's an idiot. But she's like, oh no, I'm really not an abomination. It's, I'm really a human here. And she's trying to start off, be cordial. Then there's Luz like, hello, my name's Luz. I'm, want to shake your hand. She's like, oh, get that thing away from me. Like she's being a bitch. But rightfully so. She cheated at that school. Willow got promoted. She lost her number 1 spot and nothing bad happened to them. And she got in trouble. For what? For not cheating? Amity is the good guy in this show, apparently. Basically, she's being mean to her. And then Luz Luz is like, hey, why are you being so mean to me? And then she kind of explains all that. Like, hey, that's kind of screwed up. But then I don't like how Luz explains herself like, oh, well, kind of blaming her too. I'm like, no, you guys were 100% in the wrong in the school. Everything you did was wrong. Yeah. Was she being kind of mean and kind of being like that snooty girl? But that's not, it's not very friendly. But you literally cheated and probably should have been kicked out of school for it. But, in this show, it's good. It's okay to cheat as long as you think you're the good guy. Then she's like, you're not, what are you even doing here? You're not even a witch. And humans can't be witches. Which is super weird because we had witches. I don't know. I wonder if they're ever going to like explore that, like the whole Salem and all that. Is there going to be anything, they're going to even touch on anything like that? I hope they do, because the whole idea that humans can't be witches, I think is kind of like, hey, there should be some history there. But she's like, yeah, I'm being trained by a powerful witch and a powerful demon too. And then she's like, oh, is that your powerful demon? And there we go. King was walking around collecting swag from everything. And, join the baker's coven. And he's like, just went there to get their cupcakes and not actually do anything. He trips and falls. And then Amity just stomps on his cupcake. Like, why? Like, wow, well, you didn't have to do that. Then Luz gets all like super mad at her and then straight up challenges her to a wizard's duel or a witch's duel over stomping on a cupcake. Luz is really dumb sometimes. My God, she's really stupid. She keeps getting more stupid. So she challenged her to a witch's duel, just like in her dumb book. But she knows the only magic she has is being able to make one light ball. How did she even think this was going to work out? Then, she gets up in her face. Okay, I accept your duel. Let's, what are the stakes? Luz makes the dumbest. Oh my God, it's so stupid. If I win, you gotta say sorry to King and then say humans can be witches. No stakes. 0 stakes. Enemy is, okay, if I win, you have to basically admit that you're wrong and you cheated and you have to quit magic altogether. Wow, one has lifelong repercussions and the other one has repercussions for about 3 seconds. Luz, you effing idiot. Why did you make this bet? She's like, okay, and then I guess there's like a seal. Like, okay, you made your bet, I made my bet, and we're going to seal on it, so it's like a magical seal. Don't know the extent of it, so if she lost, would she, like, it would seal her from learning magic? Like, it's weird. Like, it never really explains exactly what this thing did, but I guess it's like a binding contract now. So Luz makes the worst bet in the history of the world, and King was like egging her on, like, defend my honor. Then right afterwards, she's like, oh my God, am I going to be able to win this, King? Oh, of course not. Of course not. So King didn't care if Luz would never learn magic anymore? What an asshole. We get back to Etta, and she's trying to walk out, and of course, Lilith sees her. Oh, sister, I knew it was you. What are you doing with that silly thing on your head? And of course, she's talking crap to her because she didn't join a coven, and she did. And I thought this was a little mean, but this is something Etta would actually do because she's kind of mean.
When we were kids, Lilith was so excited to see the Emperor's Coven, she peed a little.
Oh, they all laugh at her. That was super mean, but whatever. And then even Lilith's like, oh my God, are you here to join a coven? Like, oh, you changed your ways? And Etta like laughs in her face. I would never do that. Ha ha ha. Lilith, they kind of had their back and forth. They seem like, I want to know about this family dynamic. She's like, oh, you may laugh at me, but I'm training the next generation of witches. And notice how they don't ever say wizards. There's only witches, even though you see male witches. Wouldn't they be warlocks? They just say witches for everyone. Bleh. Yeah, but I'm basically saying I'm doing something in my life and I'm just being some stupid garbage trash lady. And she's like, oh yeah, I do have a student and she's going to be powerful and all this stuff like that and she'll be able to whoop your students. But, and then Luz shows up. Oh my God, Etta, please help me. I made a witch's duel and I think I'm going to get killed. She's like, oh, this is your student? No, and it's a human. Where did you even find her? Oh yeah, but she's my student and I'm going to teach her and she's going to be powerful and strong. And I guess apparently the Atomy is her protege, like her top pick student. So she goes to regular school and is this lady's personal student. Why would she do both? Like, I'm not like I brought up earlier. Do these covens have subsidiaries within every school to help bring people up? It's just it's a weird system. I kind of hope they explain all of this. But it's like, okay, they're gonna get ready for the duel because it's gonna happen in an hour. That was one of the stipulations. Like, meet in the arena in an hour. So she's like, oh, I'm going to teach you, you're going to win this fight. And she's like, and Luz is like, you haven't taught me jack diddly crap. And finally, Edda's like, oh yeah, that is right. I haven't really taught you anything. You think? You freaking dummy? So she's basically screwed because she literally knows one spell that has no offensive or defensive capability. It's just a light spell. Then we see convenient. Then we see Lilith and Atomy training, and she's making her little abomination, so she's going to use those like summoning magic. Question, why are they training right next to each other in the middle of a convention? Those who've been to conventions and cons, they're pretty busy. I've even been to smaller conventions where there's always people walking around. Where did everyone go? They just like walk away? But yeah, they're training in the middle of a convention hall because that's what you do. But she's like, don't worry about it, Luz. Just listen to me and I'll get you through this. So she's going to cheat. How did she cheat? How did she pull this off? Who knows? They get their little introductions and they're like, oh, we're going to get a demonstration of the future of, the Coven. Here's my student. She's going to show you guys everyone. And then she has like fans already. How does Amity have fans? She's just, in junior high? How's that even possible? Then, they introduce Luz and they don't even introduce her. Some human girl. I don't even know her name. And she's like, Etta, what the hell are we going to do? We're going to lose. Like, I don't know how to do anything. She's like, here. So Etta made a bunch of magic landmines, basically. She's like, oh, get her to step on one of these and it's going to look like you're doing magic. And I like how Luz came to this conclusion here, but not at school.
That's cheating.
Nobody'll know. To all eyes up there, it'll look like you're performing magic. Just trust me.
But I will know in my heart. Even if I win now, I lose.
And of course, Etta's like, yeah, that's the spirit. But she didn't come to this realization about cheating when she was helping Willow at school. Didn't she lose because she was a cheater? But whatever, so okay, the fight's gonna start. And the best character in the show, the Screaming Bell, I love that. That's just great. So they're like standing right next to each other, like, okay, they're gonna start fighting. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a fight to the death or whoever gets like knocked out? Or I didn't know if this was going to be like, oh, who can do the most, like the best spell? Like they do go spell for spell, who can do something better. But they're literally attacking each other. So shouldn't there be referees or someone to help make sure no one dies since these are just freaking children? But whatever. So she summons her abomination. And I thought this was weird. She was like shocked about how big it was. She's like, whoa, yeah. I'm like, that's very odd that Amity would be in awe of her own power. You'd think she would be, boastful, like, that was so easy. But she was actually shocked about how big and powerful this thing was.
Abomination. Rise. Show me what you got, human.
So it's going after Luz. It's going to freaking kill her. It's, can take off its head and throw it at her, and she's barely dodging. It steps on one of these magical landmines, and the big old fire fountain comes out. So everyone thinks, oh, Luz is casting fire spells. Oh, that's pretty cool. King, I guess this is the only reason why they had this B plot of him collecting stuff. So he collected all this crap, and he's like, oh, wow, what did I miss? And Willow's like, hey, Luz is in a witch's duel. And King's like, oh, that's kind of cool. This thing keeps stepping on all these different traps and is getting blown away. Question, she was nowhere near her abomination in the scene before, but now she's standing right next to it so they both can get blown up with a little wind trap. Why didn't she keep casting other spells? So this is the only spell she knows, is this abomination thing? So she's like, wait a minute, I saw you didn't even you didn't cast that spell. You didn't even move your hands or do anything. Like, well, how are you doing this? I'm kind of, when it comes to, there should be all different kinds of it. You should be able to cast with your hands. You should be able to cast with words. There should be stuff like that. That'd be cool. I'm kind of a sucker for like magic words and incantations. There should be like, oh, the calling on the depths of the valleys of the winds, blow my enemy, like all that kind of stuff. I like that, but they don't have anything like that. It's lame. So King's like, oh, I gotta see this. And that guy that was cheering for Amity, he's like, hey, if you don't cheer for Luz, you don't cheer for anyone. So he goes, he's gonna try to attack this guy, but he has all this swag and he trips over himself and falls into the ring. This girl's pretty cute. We get so that was the only reason for him to have all this crap is so he can actually fall into the ring. How do they not see these landmines? I mean, they're giant bumps, and why would you step on it? You could totally twist your ankle. Adam's about to step on one, and Lucy's like, no, don't take another step, because she knows this is cheating, so she doesn't like want to win this way. She's like, oh, why? What are you gonna do if I step on this? Then King steps, he's the one who falls on it, and then a bunch of spikes come out. I'm like, oh my God, they were gonna kill her. She would have died. What the hell's wrong with you, Edda, you freak? And then even Lucy's like, my God, Edda, you're gonna spikes? So they found out they were cheating. And even Lilith's like, man, Edda, that's so pathetic that you would cheat like that. So you lose, and the bet's over. Amity walks away, and she flips her hair like an idiot. And we see that she had one of those power glyphs. Remember from earlier in the episode, it makes you stronger. So not only does it make you physically stronger, it makes your magic stronger too. Why put it somewhere where someone could see it? And Sakala, look at that. It's a power glyph from the Construction Coven. You cheated too. Amity goes, oh my God, I didn't know it was there. I honestly believe her. I'm pretty sure she didn't know she was cheating, because when she cast her, oh my God, it's not a homunculus. It's an abomination. It was so big, and she was surprised at how big it was. So she thought, oh wow, I guess I got better. So I'm pretty sure she didn't know she was cheating. So Lilith cheated on her behalf, much like how Edda cheated on her students' behalf. That fortune teller lady was like, oh, I'm shocked. Oh, wait a minute, I saw it coming. Okay, that was funny because she's supposed to be a fortune teller. I guess kind of playing the fact that fortune telling is totally bunk. But then Edda's like, yeah, you lose, you cheated, so we both lose. But here's the thing, you both cheated. And then Amity's feeling like crap, like, oh my God, I'm a cheater, and I've never had to cheat. I've always been good enough to win. Then Lucy's like, oh wait, come back, and she runs off. So, what does every baggy got to become a villain? Or every rival have to become a good guy, But whatever. They save King out of the thing, and then they keep, Lilith and Edda keep fighting. And Edda keeps making stupid jokes about like her losing and everything and making dumb rhymes. And she's like, oh, you make one more rhyme, you're going to regret it. Then she's like getting already powerful. Like, oh, this is the Lilith I know. She makes one more stupid rhyme, and boom, and she attacks her, like knocks her into the wall. I do like how their magics are different colors. Her Lilith is blue, and Edda's is like gold, yellow. Pretty cool. I like it. And then we get what everyone was talking about on Twitter, like oh, look at this fight scene was so amazing. So we start the big old fight. It is good. I will give you this, but if you watch my podcast, I got to pick out everything. So boom, their fight's going to start. We get back to Luz, and she's going to trying to go find Amity. She's basically crying in the corner because she feels pathetic. She feels like, my God, I not only I got humiliated as a cheater, my teacher kind of didn't believe I could win, so she cheated for me. Like, how bad does that make her feel? I thought I was your number one student and all that. All those feelings must be going through her head. Anime's the good guy. She's out of Luz and her. She's actually the good guy who actually works hard. It's funny because Luz has very little magical ability, so she has nothing to be, I don't know, jealous about. But Luz is trying to talk to her and everything, and then, she's like, you can't talk to me. Don't just leave me alone. You're a cheater. You humiliated me at the school. You made me a mockery here, and just admit that you're not a witch. Just say it. And then Luz says, yeah, I'm not a witch. I can barely do this. And then she does her little like light spell. And she's like, I'm training. I'm trying. I want to become a witch. And I think Luz kind of actually looks up to her because she is so powerful and so strong for someone so young. And, you can see that look in her face like, oh, wow, she just cast this spell. I didn't even think she could do any magic, let alone this way. Get back to the fight. And it's smooth. We got a lot of cool, nice movements. I have some complaints. Would you believe Crimson Sin has complaints? It's a tad bit slow. It's smooth. It's smooth like butter. I love it. Like the way that this owl pillar thing moves, it's just a little slow. When I say a little bit, I honestly mean just a tiny bit. It needs to be 0.2, 0.3% faster just to be a little more dynamic. A lot of people talk about like in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like they have this trigger-esque animation for some of these big fight scenes. That's too much. There's so much color, so much action, so much stuff moving around. It's just way too crazy. It can give you an epileptic seizure. This is just a little bit slower. Like I thought, like, okay, it's Miranda. It's slugging along a little bit. So don't be as fast as those other things. Like when, those over the top trigger animations, just be a little bit less. I'd rather have this than that, which is people would call me crazy. I'd rather watch a fight scene that's a little bit too slow than one that's way too flashy and fast. So this giant pillar thing's gonna I don't know what's gonna crush into her, but she does this quick little teleport dodge thing. Looks pretty cool. Edda's like on the offensive. She's just a pretty offensive wizard, witch. So she starts making a bunch of these little pillars to chase after her, keeping her sister on the defense. We get some cool jumping in the air stuff, crashing into things. I do like how confident Edda is in this fight. Like she has a smile on her face, like, oh yeah, come on, bring it on. I like that. It's really good. Her sister does like this really cool dive bomb thing, but Edda puts up her shield. Remember the one she put over the house? Very similar. It starts to crack her shield, and I like the fact, again, like I said, she's so confident. She's not losing that face of like, oh, you're cracking my shield, but oh, I'll use it to my advantage. She lets the shield crack a little bit, and then she lets her owl out, and it like attacks her. It's like pulling on her hair and stuff. Kind of like a quick little distraction, which I thought was hilarious. But then she's like, oh, this fight's over. Boom. One of the big pillars comes out and chomps down on her. It just trapped her. Like, it didn't like bite into her to like, crush her or anything. But if she wanted to, she probably could have. Then it's like, oh, fight's over. Then she looks over. Her sister got out. And then she hits her with the big blast power attack. Boom. Knocked her against the wall. Here's the thing. Was Edda playing possum? Was she lying? Was she trying to take advantage of the situation? I think it's 50-50 because what she says is probably true, but she also said it just so she can get away. She's like, oh, and she's looking at her sister, look how beat up she is. She's like, the curse. And then her sister looks at her and she's like, just look at my face. I don't know how much longer I have. This may be the last time I ever see you. That's why I came to this convention, because I wanted to see my sister one more time. Is she playing into it? And she's like, and her sister's like, oh, come on, Eddie, I can help you. Just basically kind of distracting her. Then she throws the bag of stupid hex mix at her face and looks over, oh, I was called a draw, and she ran off. Why couldn't you chase after her? She was only like 5 feet away. But people out there in the audience, was Edda being truthful? Like I said, it's 50-50. She was doing it to get away and using it against her sister, but it's also true that, yes, this curse probably is getting a little bit worse. Yes, it is probably eating away at her. And she said she had it since she was a kid, so this has been something she's been dealing with for a long time. Get back to Anime and Luz. Anime has to be a bitch, like on purpose. Oh, a baby can do that spell. But then she feels bad because, Luz is literally doing everything in the world to be her friend and be nice to her. When she could just, I bested you. But you know what? But I've never seen anyone cast it that way. Through, like you didn't use like the circle or anything. Then she goes, here, does the circle. Okay, the bet's off. You can still learn magic. Luz like, well, wow, why'd you do that? I can go back to learning. She's like, you're not gonna be able to do magic, but I don't think that's ever gonna stop you. So it's kind of this weird backhanded compliment. Like, I know you can't learn real magic, but you're gonna keep trying because that's the kind of person you are. So they're gonna become best friends. I wish it would have took a little longer, but whatever. King shows up. Hey, you left me behind. And she's like, oh yeah, you're little legs. I can just outwalk you. But I got you something better than anything. Here you go. I got you a tote bag. More stupid tote bag jokes. And it's like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's go. She's like, talking about these conventions. How she's like being here, and how these covens they sell themselves to one school, and I'm stronger than all these people combined. Lucy's like, can I become, like a witch? She's like, oh yeah, She's like, yeah, maybe not. Who knows? But we're gonna figure it out together. Instead of just being nice to her, she like gives her this kind of half-ass answer. Here's some foreshadowing. We'll get you eventually. Wow, that's a little ominous. But then Luce is like, yeah. And then, she's like, wow, you got a sister that's so interesting, mysterious backstory. She's like, oh, yeah, you thought she was weird. We're weird. She meet her parents. Oh, whoa, I didn't think you had parents. Well, of course she has parents. Where the hell did you think she came from? Then we get the more implications. Lilith goes back to, I guess, looks like the dressing room because it has like a vanity mirror. So I don't think this is her house. This has to be like wherever she got through this convention. Her little compact opens up and it has this interesting character. It's like a pretty cool character design. I kind of like it. And she's like, oh, you let the owl lady best you again to get to your anger, and you're supposed to capture her. This is again another thing where, do you think she's willing to capture her sister and send her to whatever this thing for punishment or to be killed or whatever? Or she really want to help her sister because she says, before talking to this lady, like, man, Edwina, whatever her real name is, but Edda, you make it so hard to help you, because she does want to help her sister, her freaking sister. But then, then she makes this promise that I will bring her in. Her days are numbered. So which is true? Is her days numbered, or do you want to help her? End of the episode, much better. Again, but shouldn't the story be about Luce, not about Edda? Hopefully we get some more things with Luce doing things, because it's about her, not about Edda. But yeah, I'm going to stick with this unless it gets really, really bad. It did just enough to pique my interest, especially with this like implications at the end of episode 5. So yeah, pretty decent, pretty cool fight, cool backstory for Edda. Hope we get back to Luce being the main character though.
You were defeated. Don't get hated. Get your stank face treated.
Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.